What's up, hybrids? Welcome back to another episode of the Fandom Hybrid Podcast. This is Hanako, and I am here with Anthony and Michelle, and we are discussing the season 2 finale of House of the Dragon. And I'm kind of scared to go into this discussion because I felt like I already knew what Anthony and Michelle were going to say about this about this finale.
I'm gonna go first so I can get it out the way, just like I did with Deadpool Wolverine. So, what finale? Like, what finale? I mean, this whole season, like, was there even a season? Because to me, it seems like it was like an extended trailer for season 3.
My thing. I was
but see, you were liking the episodes up until this one,
right?
Yeah. But the problem is you're building towards something which turned out to be nothing.
Well,
it was build. Okay, see you guys in 2 years. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Right.
And I hate to agree with you. I do.
You agree with me,
but I do.
Hate is such a strong word.
It is, and I haven't watched anything. Just being busy, I haven't listened to anybody talk about the show. I just saw one thing that someone said it was a 70-minute trailer for season 3, and I believe that because it was all set up for season 3. We could have had like a cliffhanger. We could have had maybe a death or something. It was just a pretty much montage of getting you ready for season 3.
Yeah, like it was putting all the chess pieces on the board. Yeah.
Right. So
what the fuck were we doing the whole season?
I really don't know. I just feel like we were in the waiting room maybe all season.
And then Daemon
for the last season.
And then the wrap up for Daemon was so anticlimactic. Like he went through all that crap, seeing ghosts, having visions, drinking God knows what from some witch, and he basically says, "Okay, I'm good. I follow you. I'll be your husband now."
You missed a little section. All of those things, and she wasn't giving him the wine. It was just the atmosphere. The haunting was opening up his mind to receive the message he needed to receive. So,
which was get out of your own way.
Right. If he got that message when he first came, he wouldn't have gotten that message. He needed to be open to the spirits, to the other world beyond.
Technically, he's basically in the same position he was when he got there. He just now has an army.
But
he has some clarity. I think he understands that he is not supposed to be. He was never supposed to be
chosen. He wasn't chosen. Don't try to make yourself chosen. You were just the guide, the assistance that she needed, and now you know that there's a bigger picture. Okay, now you know about fire and ice somewhat,
and
without your brother telling you.
And the two best things from the only really, to me, two really good things from the episode are, she got it playing now, is Tyland and his adventures. I could have used 20 to 30 minutes of that because that was freaking hilarious. And I guess I've been seeing a lot of people say this, the team up we didn't think we needed. Larys and Aegon on the road
on
again.
The road trip.
So other than those two things, I don't know what to tell you. Well, and Helaena giving the middle finger to
Aemond,
to Aemond.
Yeah,
to me,
that was great.
That was like one of the best things.
It was Alan. I want to call him Aaron. Is it Alan or Aaron?
Alan.
The one on Alan.
Oh, Alan giving Corlys
the middle finger too. That was fantastic also. So that was another middle finger moment.
But really, no, that was all the action though.
Yeah.
That was all the action.
I will say I was slightly disappointed. Now, I'm about to be the apologist for this episode. I see what they're doing. I know, and we've been talking about this. We know that there are some big battles coming up, And I feel like if they had been able to do 2 more episodes, like if this had been a full 10 episode season, we may have gotten more action towards the end. But I don't know. I kind of feel like if we had had the action from the first Harrenhal battle right there towards the end, I think people would have been even more mad about the cliffhanger, because that's a lot of story that takes place at Harrenhal. You have that first battle, and you have what happens after that, and then you have the final big battle, which I think is what we'll see at the end of season 3. But I just feel like you could have gave us something. There are some things, yes, I feel like they did very well, and I think they set up some things in a way that you're kind of looking like, okay, this is about to be a problem. Ulf is about to be a problem. We can see that already. Like, he's already gotten to this point where, because the dragon chose him, you see his ego has inflated. Hugh is still a little humble, but Ulf, he has the attitude, he has the mouth. And then even when he finds out who Jaehaerys is, he's still just kind of, I was like, oh, you about to be a problem. Like, there are some people who are like, I don't like Jason this episode. Like, why is he pouting all the time? No, I understand, because Ulf is about to be a problem, and you kind of see it.
The Ulf is funny because at first he's like, hey, boy, what's up? And then he's like, that's the crown prince. Hey, my prince, what's up?
He doesn't have any etiquette. No. But I am upset with Jace, though. I am, because I'm like, you got to get over it. And I'm sorry, like, you are still special. Just because other people can ride a dragon, you still special.
But I think his problem is those people now, it would seem like they have a greater claim.
But you still Rhaenyra's son, honey. It don't matter who your daddy was. You still are heir to something. Mm-hmm. These people are coming from... Yeah, like, you got to get over it. When you start walking around like that, that's when people be thinking, well, he's nothing. Maybe I should. And
that's what I was thinking too. Like, Jace is going to give them a reason to say, oh, you know what? Like, maybe he's not deserving of this.
Right, because you're walking around like a little snot. Mm-hmm. Get over it. Other people can ride effing dragons. I'm sorry.
And it's not like these are just random people. These are people who have very close ties to the Targaryens. Like I said, I don't know if Rhaenyra had asked.
This was a horrible rose ceremony. Everyone else had to die for them to be able to claim a dragon. And then you're about to go to war, which means they may die in war. Let them have their day, and making them feel special about their dragon.
He was Jaehaerys' grandson. So
that's what I'm saying.
That gives him a really strong claim to the throne.
And Ulf is Balon's son. He's literally the brother of Viserys and Daemon. Yeah. So they really do have
pretty strong claims.
Yeah. So stop walking around like that and get yourself together. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
This is an interesting turn for Jace, because this is not... I mean, normally I would say this isn't the Jace that we met at the beginning of the season. Like, this is a Jace that's a little... He's different.
Mm-hmm. His self-esteem is just not great.
I don't know if I particularly care for this change in his character.
Right.
Yeah,
it kind of goes against how he established himself as, as a forward thinker, as a person who wants or seemingly wants to take charge. And now he's like this whiny little bastard. It's literally a whiny little bastard.
You're helping your mom find dragon seeds, but then you don't like the type of dragon seeds who become the dragon seeds.
That's what I was going to say. He has a little bit of that Targaryen arrogance.
Yeah.
He really does.
But no, he don't have enough of it. I need him to pump it up some. So you're like, I'm really better than everyone else, but you're.
But that's literally what he's doing. That's why he has the issue with the dragon seed.
but in a way that makes him there's a way of
like Daemon.
Right, where you're cocky and have that self confidence. He is cocky but don't have self-confidence, which makes you an easy trigger.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you feel like you're better than everyone else, but then you walking around looking like you don't know your place in the world. I need you to walk up with your head up high. If you think you need to dye your hair blonde, do that. If not, deal with the black hair. It's beautiful. Keep going. Thank you.
Yeah. But I mean, we have to remember, one, Jace is still a child, technically speaking. And like he told Baylor, he has been hearing this all 16. Of his life. That's a heavy burden that you have to that's sitting there on your shoulders, that you have to try to where you have to try to convince everybody else that you deserve to be there.
Right.
And that can take a toll, especially you are trying to do what you need to do to stand by your mother, to be to be a good heir, to learn from her, whatever. It's got to sting him a little bit that instead of coming to him and talking to him about some things, which she has done, but she's also going to this stranger, technically, Massaria. She's going to somebody who was once a prisoner. She's going to somebody who was once tethered to Daemon. It's and like all of these things that would be a red flag is probably what's pushing that, because he was like, oh, you're doing things with her and you're not even telling me about it, like sending the food to King's Landing, going to get the bastards the way that she did. Like, none of that was stuff that she discussed with him. So I would say he's a little justified in the way he's feeling. She went off to go find out about Adam without him. She took Adam with her in this episode to Hammerhall instead of him, which it makes sense because you can't have both of the heirs. But okay, we see I think the roles reversing again. Now Rhaenyra is the one that's going out, being able to do stuff, and Jace is sitting there like twiddling his thumbs because there's nothing he can do. And I just think it's just like Rhaenyra was having all of that resentment build up. He's in this headspace where the resentment is building up for him, but also in that, here you have these three people who are adding to that. Now, granted, Adam, I don't think he's going to have much problems with Adam, because Adam is just like, I'm just happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? And he seems like the three humble ones out the bunch. Hugh has a little bit of humbleness to him too, but you got to remember, Hugh still has a little anger because of everything that's going on. So I feel like he might be a wild card.
Hugh has a little bit of desperation.
Mm-hmm.
He has to do this. This has to work for him.
Yeah.
And
because he's lost so much.
Yeah. And Adam understands duty and service.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the difference. And Ulf is just the party.
Ulf is used to trading on the Targaryen name without having to actually work for it. So the fact that now he's going to have to work for it, I think that's what's going to be the problem.
Yeah. So, but it's not really good long term.
Yeah.
But at short term, it works because you got 6 dragons to 1.
Mm-hmm. Well, technically 7 now, since Caraxes appears to be back in the fold.
Okay, 7 dragons to 1, and Vhagar cannot defeat 7 dragons.
No.
So at this point, if Rhaenyra wants to take over, she can. I'm waiting for. I'm going to go back for a second. I'm going to go back. So my expectation, which I kick myself because I have gotten rid of having expectations for TV shows and their finales, because we get burned all the time with finales. Sometimes they're really good and sometimes they're just not good.
Mm-hmm.
But my sort of expectation was we would at least see something in the Reach. Like we would at least see the Beesberries in a battle with whoever, a Hightower faction, and then you see Tesseron and Darren come over, the cliff and start spouting out fire, and that would be it. And you'd be like, oh, snap. Yeah. So just because she has all those dragons doesn't mean they're not out of it yet. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, leave us with that. You don't have to show us who wins. You don't have to show us anyone who dies. Just show the freaking dragon coming to the battlefield.
Well, part of the problem with that is I don't think they've cast Daemon yet.
You don't even have to show him. You just do the dragon.
Somebody has to be flying the dragon. So.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You just do the dragon. And at first you'd be like, wait, who is that? Oh no, it's Darren. And then like that's what we'd be talking about. Like, how is this gonna turn out? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah. I think
I just wanted to go back and say that's sort of the expectation that we sort of kind of had with this. Like, even if they made up a battle or a skirmish, just to give us something, just to give us a little bit of action and more of a cliffhanger, other than everybody's now in the right place.
You know what? Place. Okay, so I'm going to be Hanako this time.
No, please don't. Just no. What's
wrong? I'm awesome.
You're not going to sit here and justify what these people did.
I wouldn't say justify it, but you know how we always talk about.
They have bad history. There's already a bad memory about how they, how the show, the previous show turned out towards the end.
Yeah.
And here you're sort of skirting along the edge of doing that same thing. And then, Hanako sent me a message. She's like, oh, I can see how they can stretch this out to what would you say, 4 or 5 seasons?
Season 4. And I was like, I can see how they could go 4 or 5.
If they do a season like they did this season, I don't see why they can't do 6 or 7.
No, they've already, Ryan Condal has already confirmed season 4 will be the final season.
Okay, so now I have a problem.
That means season 3 is going to be mostly like season 2.
Right. No, I don't think so.
No, I think so because I was about to give it credit that it was just this last episode we had a problem with. And I was saying how the story is short. And yes, this needed to set things into motion because season 3, they can finish everything off. This story should actually be 2 seasons or 2.5 seasons. So season 2 needed to be stretched out. But it depends though, because it depends on where you end. Yes, they can go to season 4 if they end later. I'm
gonna tell you exactly what they're probably gonna do.
Someone said
it depends on when they end. If the story ends, try not to spoil things. If the story is to end, because the main character.
Hold on. Before you go there, we're gonna stop right here and say this. We're going into spoiler territory because I feel like we need to talk.
I'm not gonna say anything because I'm just gonna say if we end with a character. I don't know how long that character is, how long that character rules or not rules. I'm just saying.
Okay, no, that's why I said we're going into spoiler territory because there are some things that I want to say that deal with the book and where the story might go. That's kind of where I feel like I can see season 3 and season 4. So this is spoiler territory. Anybody who doesn't want book spoilers, I will put in the show notes where you can pick up on the recording to avoid the spoilers. This is just going to be a brief, maybe 2-3 minute aside. Okay. Spoilers.
So if we end with Rhaenyra's end, then it really could have just been 3 seasons. But I don't know if they plan on ending all the stuff that happens afterwards. Now, all the stuff that happened afterwards, it could be a season 4 because there's a lot of stuff that happens after she passes.
And that's what I'm thinking.
On the crown. So that's where this is getting confusing. Where are they going to end it? It really should end with her because this is her story really from the beginning to the end, which could have ended in season 3. But if we're going past that, that's season 4. But I'm not sure where they want to end. That's the problem.
Yeah,
I think end with her and they drag this out to season 4 with just her, that is a problem.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that.
We need to be hitting the major notes.
Well, someone figured out that.
But the major notes get rid of the people we don't want to get rid of. That's a problem.
season 2 was just 30 pages of the book. It was a very small part of the book.
So this is the
we don't want to
thing
get rid
that
of those
I
good
feel
characters.
I feel like they're going to start. I think season 3 is going to be a lot of the Harrenhal stuff, because remember, there's one battle of Harrenhal where Daemon is actually ousted from Harrenhal. Like Aemond comes, they take over Harrenhal. Daemon has to come back to try to regain control of Harrenhal, and that's when the big battle between Vhagar and Caraxes happens, and both Aemond and Daemon die in that battle. So I feel like that might be where season 3 ends, especially if they're doing another 8 episode season.
And then that's a lot of stuff in between they have to make up, because then there's other little battles too that deals with Ulf and Hugh. So yeah, so that's why I'm like, it's gonna be a lot of fight scenes, fight battles in season 3 if they go that route.
And I think that's what they're more concerned to do on purpose,
right? And I think they're concerned about losing the 2 people that we really are drawn to.
Yeah.
So they're drawing that out, because ultimately,
I agree.
The first part of that battle should have happened this season.
I mean, that's what we've been discussing the last 2 episodes. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We thought the first Harrenhal battle was going to happen. And then that, maybe they'll take the second one in season 3. But it's like, if you do that, I kind of feel like you do, Michelle, like you're going to lose Daemon. You're going to lose Rhaenyra. That's what most of the people are looking for. So it's like you do the build up, you lay all the groundwork in season 2. And yes, I understand that. I know that there was a lot of exposition. I know there wasn't a lot of action. But one of the things I always say is, when we get a lot of exposition, when we get a lot of talking, when we get a lot of groundwork, that's when they're about to pull the rug from up under us. And I feel like with everything that happens in the book from this point on, we got to get Daemon's death. We got to get Rhaenyra's death. I mean, there's the betrayal from Hugh and Ulf, and Kristen Cole's. There's going to be a lot of death, and I feel like most of these characters that we are seeing on the screen now, those characters will be done. We will have Aegon back as king. We will have Helaena, but we're not even going to have Helaena for long, because Helaena takes her own life. So it's kind of like, I feel like they're setting it up, and then that final season is going to be from Aegon's rule, from Aemond's rule to Aegon's rule to, I can't remember who took over after Aegon. The whole battle with the bastards, whether or not Aegon's bastard is supposed to succeed. It's a lot of stuff that takes place in King's Landing. And I just feel like that's where that 4th season is going to be. It's going to get rid of all these characters that we have grown to know and love or despise. Season 3 is going to be their curtain call. And then we go into season 4 and kind of leading into Aegon.
Right. But then we need to, at some point, we need to be reintroduced to her son. We're still in spoilers. Aegon, who takes over, and all the stuff that goes on with the end of the war type
and
thing.
I feel like season 4 is going to be that time jump Anthony was talking about.
But then who will care? Because we are not invested in them.
They're going to have to spend some of season 3 building up investment in the other characters.
Especially the Stark man, because
I think Cregan has a following. He's okay.
Yeah. Okay, so end of spoilers. We're going to cut that out. But yeah.
But all that is fine and well, fine and good, and I'm okay with all of that. My issue is you didn't give us anything in this last episode. You didn't, and I'm gonna go back to what I said. A little skirmish, show a dragon throwing flame at a group of soldiers. You don't even have to show the soldiers. You could just show the dragon turn, fly towards the screen, fire. End of episode. Boom. Everyone's excited. all this other stuff y'all are doing, yeah, great. Woo, set everybody up. But you still have to have us excited about something.
Mm-hmm.
That's all basically that's all people are saying.
Especially for the people who are not familiar with the bookstore and they don't know what's coming up next. Yeah, like we know that there's some major stuff that's about to happen, and we know for the most part who it involves. The non-book readers don't know. So it's like, if you ending it the way that you did, I like my best friend. She was one of the people who wasn't going to give House of the Dragon a chance because she was salty about the way they ended Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. Saw the first episode. She was with it. After this last episode, she was like, yeah, I'm done. She was like, I'm done. I don't even care what happens at this point.
And that's what I've seen a lot of people just say generally, because what's happening is it's just watching a performance. We get up there, watch a ballerina do this amazing just dance. But all we're going to remember is that last 5 minutes when she fell off the stage and can't even remember the dance. And that's what's happening. We have had a good season, but all we can remember is the end. The fuck up of the 70-minute trailer.
Primacy and recency. People only remember the last thing.
We have to remember, like, there have been good episodes this season. Yes, they drug out Daemon and his haunting of Harrenhal. They had, but the whole point was for him to be open to the experience of touching the tree and seeing the vision. Let's dig a little deeper. He could have had the vision last week, and he does some things to go with what the vision is leading him to. Mm-hmm. But that was a quick, little tense. We got a 30-second tense moment when we didn't know where he was going to do in front of his wife, Rhaenyra. Right. Like, she was like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden, I seen the future. All right, we're good. I bend the knee to you. Mm-hmm. Did we have them like arguing or something? Like, what's happening here? Or at least let me get a threesome at the end.
We didn't even get a kiss. We didn't even get that.
He tried to do the whole head touch thing. Rhaenyra was like, because he's gonna have to work to get that trust back. Like, you left her on red for weeks. and didn't, like, I mean, seriously, if you think about it, they sent a raven.
He hasn't returned a single raven.
Not a single raven.
Not text her back.
So Simon Strong said, wait a second, I might need to send a raven.
Right.
But okay, so let's talk about that for a minute, because a lot of people are like, Simon Strong told on Daemon. No, if Simon Strong was going to tell on Daemon, he could have done it weeks ago. I think Simon Strong knew eventually Daemon is not going to do what Daemon does. Daemon is one of those people, he needs a push. And when Sir Alfred came up in there, Anthony, you had this conversation, you were like, I hope he realizes how much she trusts him to go treat with Daemon. Yeah, I mean, because as soon as he walked in that guy's wood, what did you hear? Treat. And he turned around like, did you hear something? As soon as he opened his mouth and started pressing Daemon, it's kind of like, I think, Michelle, you were talking about this for another show we were talking about. So you know, I can be mad at my brother, I can be mad at my wife, whatever. I'm the one that's mad. But the minute you start talking like you're about to betray them, oh, I got something for your ass. You saw the whole way Daemon dealt with Sir Alfred. He was like, oh, yeah, well, while you've been over here doing this, Rhaenyra has been faltering and blah, blah, blah. And, I would follow her, but we need a king. Basically, you're saying you need a leader with a dick in between his legs. That's what you're saying. You're being misogynistic. And they was just looking at him like, really? Okay. And he said it. I never took you for a turncoat. That should have been your indication right there that you saying the wrong thing to the wrong person. And I think Sir Simon Strong, for the most part, again, we've had this conversation. Targaryens, at the end, they are about family, and Daemon is about his wife. Think about it. That could have been fucking around with Alice Rivers the whole time he was at Harrenhal, because I feel like she was putting it out there. But Daemon is like, okay, I need to figure this out, what I'm gonna do with my wife without my wife, whatever.
So Strong was in that corner with his Raven phone.
Right.
Tell you,
because as soon as Daemon looked at Sir Alfred, went and walked off, I said, "Come on, Sir Simon." I said, "Get your ravens going." Yeah, and I was just joking, but that's what he ended up doing. He sent that raven. I think he was telling on Sir Alfred, because if you notice, when Daemon bent that knee, Sir Alfred got the hell on. Did you see how quickly he turned tail and ran?
So the episode could have also dealt with them hanging him.
That'll be in the first episode of season 3.
What's interesting is I want to say I was halfway right about Rhaenyra, because maybe Rhaenyra was like, well, I don't really trust him, so if I send him up there to Daemon, maybe it will let me know which way Daemon is swinging. Mm-hmm. So I was telling Michelle while watching, I said, okay, so if she did that, she's either maybe Mysaria talked her into doing that. She's either really, really smart, because she didn't send like an army. She just sent Alfred and like.
But she said before she had her, so I'm thinking that she sent because she trusted him.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, what you originally said.
Okay, well,
she did with trusting him. He wanted to win the war. We didn't know that he was going to turn as soon as he got in front of him.
Like literally as soon as he got there.
Like he had this conversation already mapped out on the road there.
He had a fortnight to have that conversation with him.
Right.
Yeah, he was so ready.
But Dame's like, walked off.
And if you ever notice in season 1 and season 2, like you said, he's family. He doesn't have these conversations with outside people talking about his loved ones, except that time in the brothel, talking about the prince for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
However, he really doesn't. If you notice, if he has some issues, he'll talk with them about the issues, but he don't talk with others. And as other people say something, they lose their head, they lose their tongue, they're burnt to crisp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
just like I can say what I want to.
Conversation, he's not going to engage in that. Even if he was tempted, he's not going to say anything to him about that. That she's not well enough to be queen.
He could also be one of those people that if you turn on her so quickly,
you're going to turn on me.
How fast are you going to turn on me?
So I don't trust you.
And then also, I do feel like Daemon changed his mind once he saw the vision and it kind of made things clear. But you have to admit, also seeing a dragon that for the last 20 years has not had a rider all of a sudden on the roof of Harrenhal, like, oh, smoke. So for right now, because she took Adam with her. So so you got to think, okay, you know what? Maybe she has not been as faulty as Sir Alfred said she was. Like, she's doing some stuff. Because of course Sir Alfred wouldn't know about it because he's been on the road. So now, Sir Alfred. So about the fact that Rhaenyra has been faltering, let's talk about that. Rhaenyra has gotten 3 new dragon riders. She has gotten the small folk in King's Landing singing her praises. She's got Aemond on edge. Like, she got that boy skirt.
Yeah. She got Alicent giving up her firstborn.
Listen. Rhaenyra seems to have been doing pretty okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, she has all the chess pieces in the right spot. So,
so now she got her king right back by her side. So, yeah. Sir Alfred getting hung in that first episode of season 3.
Okay, he needs to.
He's toast. Yeah, he knew it. That's why he
took off. He took off running. Like, you didn't edge on the corners around. You went through the middle like I'm gone.
Right. And you let that treachery be known to Daemon?
Oh, yeah, you're done. I need you to watch House of Dragon YouTube channel, The Best of Daemon, so you would have known not to say anything to him.
Not at all. Like what in like
he was saying, I need people to follow me. And then you'd be like, okay, I'll follow you. Like it was his idea,
right,
not your idea.
Mhm.
Right. You sitting there like, what part of Damon's temperament made you think that that was going to be an okay thing to do?
He didn't even say anything. Like in those type of conversations, you wait till the person say, oh, you came, but I'm going to take over. I'm going to be king, not my wife. And you'd be like, I don't know about this. This is treason.
Right.
But I guess if you feel like we should follow you, no, you came in there like, she ain't good. You need to be king.
Right.
I'm with you.
And just like you just said about Daemon, also with Rhaenyra, and I think we talked about this last week or the week before, regardless of where their position has been with each other, Rhaenyra also has not badmouthed Daemon to her small council. Yep. She, every time they're trying to say, well, we need to know where Daemon is. Okay, well, we'll just wait. He's working. He might be working on things. Maybe no news is like she has literally
where the wind blows.
And I think, like I said, I think the time when she said something to Jace about it's always Daemon, that's the first time that she's ever been like, okay, I'm so sick of hearing that man's name. Y'all need to shut up talking about him. But still, that was with her son. That wasn't with the rest of the small council. So obviously, with the both of them, they had their little spat, whatever. But Daemon is still down for Rhaenyra, and Rhaenyra is still down for Daemon. I don't know what made you think that was going to be okay for you to do what you did. But, okay. Okay.
The man is toast.
He
Dead
is.
man walking.
He is. And it's 3 dragons there. He might be like Aegon. He might have his himself cooked in his armor to where his cock explodes like a sausage and all this other stuff.
That is a graphic I did not need.
That's just not right.
When Aegon was saying all of that to Larys was still talking. I was like, how are you even like? Aegon was just like, do you know I have no cock?
You know why Larys was like that? You probably thinking, dude, you can find another fetish. I like feet. We'll find you something later, but we need to get out of here.
Yeah. But his being gone, that's going to cause some problems for what Alicent planned to do.
Yeah, it is. And that is unfortunate.
Because she was sincere.
They're right, and she was, but then, Rhaenyra can take over because there's no king there. She just got to get rid of
yeah, but as long as Aegon is alive,
I know he has to.
Problem.
It is,
and with Larys hiding him, they're not going to find him.
No, they're not. They're not.
They're not going to find him.
Nobody's going to Bravos.
To be honest with you, I hate it, but he has to because Aemond is on some different type of shit. He is the kid that been bullied who became a bully. Like you are done. You're on your own level.
He's not even trying to find a peaceful solution. He's not even trying to appease the crowd.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care about the small folk. He doesn't care about anybody but himself.
He wants the power.
Right.
That's all
But he doesn't just want the power. He wants the power to execute his revenge. That's it. That's all he wants. And he was running to Helaena. I need to join your dragon. He gonna make her get on the dragon? He gonna tie her down to the dragon?
When he grabbed her, I was like, oh, dude, you're done. Because again, he's always been the one to be nice to her. He's always been the one I feel like that had genuine affection for her. But when you grab her like that, when she gave it to him, I was like, yes, girl, tell him. She's like, so what if I don't do it? You gonna burn me like you burn Aegon? And you saw his one eye, he started tearing up a little bit. He was like, that's treason. It's true. I saw it. When she said, I saw it, you burned him and then you let him fall. What shit he could say?
Nothing.
I bet you in that moment he was like, oh shit, she really does see things. I bet you his ass was paying attention then.
So then if everything she said after that, you need to believe.
Aegon's gonna be king again because he hasn't had his victory yet. He's gonna sit in a wooden chair. You're gonna die. You fall into the God's eye, and you were never seen again. I could kill you. It ain't gonna change nothing.
Okay, nothing.
Yeah. I think it's easy to forget that he's like 17. So he and Jace are sort of like the same, that impetuousness that
but Jace is not about to go burn a whole city because he finds out that there are 3 other dragons. Like, he's gonna sit here and pout.
His thing is, we already talked about Jace, but Jace's thing is something more internal than Aemond. And there's something else, because in the book, that's what Aemond did to draw out Daemon, was he went through the Riverlands burning everything. So I guess that was their image of showing that part of the book where he did that.
But he's still horrible for just trying to burn things to get someone to respond. I mean,
yeah,
that's why Aegon had to, go on that road trip.
Oh yeah, he was dead. Yeah,
dead in a couple of days. His Aemond was gonna kill him.
Especially since he was talking, he's kind of getting around a little bit. He can start making decisions.
You get back on the throne.
Listen to him.
But I can guarantee you, Aemond does not know that Aegon is walking around. I can guarantee you they have not told him that part.
No. He will walk into the small council chamber and Aegon will be sitting in his seat. He'll be like, what the fuck happened?
I don't need you, little brother.
Larys will be sitting there right on the side.
Right.
Yeah, matter of fact, let's talk about the time you tried to kill me. Let's let everybody
let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. Helaena, rewind the tapes. What did you see?
Right.
He burned you. All right, thank you.
Yeah. But
then another issue is, and who the hell got Otto? I mean, like, you just thrown that in there. Like he in jail. With who? He in the cage with who? Who kidnapped him?
Right.
And no one knows about this? This is some crazy stuff. Y'all just threw that in there.
I wonder if Larys had anything to do with that. Because remember, Aemond told him to go find Otto Hightower. And he knows if Otto comes back and starts counseling Aemond, yeah, I think Larys had something to do with that.
He probably did. Because it wouldn't go out the same way. So Larys
probably did that as soon as Otto left King's Landing.
He did. He took that money.
That's why he hasn't responded.
I think poor Otto.
Keep fucking around with Larys. Just keep.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't at all.
Right. Okay. I do want to talk about another favorite moment that I do have from this episode, and that's the confrontation between Criston Cole and Sir Gawain.
Now that would have been a fight I wanted to. I would have paid to see.
You know what, Sir Gawain? I think he is way over his head because Criston didn't even look worried about him. Like, you sitting here holding your sword on him, letting everybody in the forest know that this man is fucking your sister because you pissed off and you feel like you need to defend her honor. Criston Cole just looking at you like.
Now, I do have a problem with the scene. Anyway. Right. And I do have a problem with the scene. Like, it was good, but it was just abruptly came on. Like, if you had him on the side watching Criston Cole sniff the, handkerchief, that would have helped me put myself. I think
that was the implication. Kind of like I had the.
It was like very quick. He sniffed. There go the knife in my throat. I mean, like, it just abruptly came on like that. I'm like, can we have led up to this just a little bit?
But I mean, I think they did. If you look at the way that Gawain has been watching Kristen and
Alicent. This scene when it came on, it was sniff my sister.
Okay, so this is your issue. It's the same with me with Rhaenyra and Mysaria kissing. Same situation.
You know what? That one I understand. This was more of the, not that it happened, it was the editing part that drove me crazy. Like, it was like, as soon as the scene came on, then there was friction. Like, it didn't give you a chance. Like, if you closed your eyes for 5 seconds, you wouldn't even know why it happened. Because he sniffed it like 2 seconds. You're dead. Like, it just didn't lead up to me. It was the way it was cut. That's what my problem was.
Well, Hanako, I understand what you're saying about Crispy not being bothered, but I think it could be something deeper. Like, I think he's resigned himself to the fact that they're all gonna die.
That's why he's not bothered. He was like, okay, so if you kill me right here for, messing around with your sister, or whether I go die by dragons, he probably prefers to die by the sword.
He does.
It doesn't even look like you put up a fight, though.
Right, it doesn't.
He's just like, yeah.
Like, my favorite thing is
raw ash.
My favorite thing is when you have to, with stuff is you just unbothered and you have to muster a fuck. He is right now trying to muster a fuck and he doesn't have one. It's like, I really don't
even think he's trying to muster it. What did he say when the dragons dance? When the dragons dance, men become ash under their feet. He was like, "We are all marching towards our annihilation," and Gawain is looking at him like, "What the fuck?" And yeah, like, I think it'll be good to die, don't you? And Gawain he just sat down. He was like, "Damn, all this that I've done." And this, like, literally since he got the King's Landing, what did he do? Got the King's Landing, immediately went out with Kristen Cole. They went to Rook's Rest, almost got killed. Now here he is going towards Harrenhal. He's with Kristen Cole. He's about to die. Gawain
I don't think he has.
The fuck?
I think Gawain just finally wrapped his head around their situation. Like, he didn't get it really at Rook's Rest. Like, he didn't really get it, when
if you don't get it when a dragon kills 900 soldiers with dragon fire, then he
didn't, because he's so focused on, like you said, he's so focused on this man sleep with his sister. And Chris is like, dude, think about it.
Yeah, just think about it.
Just think about it for a second.
Think about it.
You got to look at the big picture. Mm-hmm. We are nothing. And then we are dust.
When he thought about it too, he just put the sword down and sat next to him.
Yeah.
Like,
he finally
let's have a drink, sir, because this
finally wrapped his head around it. Finally.
It took him long enough.
Yeah. But my favorite part,
if you didn't get it at Rook's Rest, then you haven't been paying attention. You're not reading the room, sir.
No, you're not. But my favorite part is when he was talking about, men of the you need to go. Well, he said your oath.
Oh yeah.
About being with a woman. And he was like, and the others don't. You sure?
Yeah. Because what did he say? He said pursuit of women has always been my grave mistake or something like that. He was like, just do what your brothers do. They resist. He was like, oh, do they?
Yeah.
Like, come on now. And Gawain's looking at him like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
let's be honest. He's like, let's be honest with everyone. Let's just be honest. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. But honest. I also feel like Gawain is very naive. Like, he came into King's Landing with one thought of how this was about to go and what this fighting would be like. And I think he has a very romanticized version in his head of how things were going to be. And the reality for him is not that. And I think he has just been ignoring it because, like you said, he couldn't wrap his mind around it. And now that he has to look at it dead in his face, like the man who is supposed to be leading you to battle is basically telling you he's leading you to die. He's like, there's nothing for us. We are going to our annihilation, not to our death. We are going to our annihilation. He used that word. What else are you going to do?
He reminds me of the Night of Flowers without all the embroidery.
Sir Lord, yeah.
This, yeah, the perfect night, the
Right.
high standing, the purest of the pure, uphold all honor and dignity.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
But at least Sir Larys, okay, I will say this. At least Sir Larys had some sense about him. He was, he knew what was going on with Renly trying to take over. He was like, oh, he was the one that was kind of encouraging him, like, why are you sitting here doing this? You could be doing bigger things. Like, he was the one who was battle tested. We don't really know much about Sir Gawain, but just the way that he's acting, I'm like, dude, you have probably never been in that type of situation in your life.
No, remember they were out in the open with dragons flying around, trying to find an inn.
Right.
In the territory.
Right.
Okay.
he has a little bit of arrogance about him being a high tower and being who he is. And it's just like, dude, you don't have the common sense to be where you are right now. And unfortunately, he's finding that out too late. You basically on your way to die. This man has all but told you, yep, that's where we're going. And I think even if he tried to leave right now, Kristen would not care.
No.
Kristen, let me tell you, that battle at Rook's Rest and seeing that, like, yeah, you can grow up in King's Land and you see the dragons, you see them riding the dragons, and you're mesmerized and you're in awe of these. But when I think he took for granted the dragons being quote unquote peaceful because the riders were controlling them. You've never seen the dragons the way that they maybe not were intended to be used, but the way the Targaryens use them to, like, the Targaryens are on top for a reason. Did you not read this in your history books? Like, I think he just took it for granted, and then once you see it yourself, and like I said, I think the real moment for him was when he went into that field and he tried to touch that soldier and that the armor just fell because it was dust. I think that's when it clicked for him. Like, when it really, really clicked for him what the fuck he was facing.
The man was shook to the core.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was shook to his core.
Yeah.
Shook it.
All the way to the point where he was like trying to get out. Alicent, you don't want to be in charge.
Right.
Right.
You know, I don't want to be in charge. I will say this too. This episode is probably the episode where I probably liked and had more respect for his character, because he was being honest. He put it all out there. I mean, even to the point where he was like, pursuit of women has always been my, that's always been my trouble. Like, not blaming anyone, not blaming Alicent, because he could have easily said, well, she seduced me. Like, I was a knight of the Kingsguard. It's not like I went to her. Obviously, she went to him because he wouldn't have done it. We know that from the way that he was with Rhaenyra. And then after Rhaenyra, he probably was like, nope, I'm not even about to do that. Alicent had to come to him. And for him to look at Sir Gawain and basically say, look, you can think whatever you want to. You can think this is dishonorable, whatever. He was like, look, she saved my life twice. She is the beacon that I follow. That's a powerful statement to make about someone.
Yeah.
It's not about lust. It's not about just sex. Like, he has her up on a podium. And this is what has driven him for the last 20 years. You saw Sir Gawain after he said that, he just looked at him like, oh. Because, I mean, you basically just all but told her brother that you're in love with her. Pretty much.
Yep, pretty much.
Pretty much.
So, I mean, what are you going to do? Even when Alicent has that conversation with Rhaenyra at the end of the episode, when she's made her way to Dragonstone and she mentions the lover, Rhaenyra was like, oh, look, Miss High and Mighty got a lover. She was like, look, I have desires too. My husband was dead. I needed something.
Right.
Okay, so now we've alluded to that meeting twice now. Can we talk about Alicent?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
What are you coming to ask for? Because
safe passage for me and Helaena. Safe passage.
I'm just saying though,
I mean, honestly, like for this to be over with.
I think she wants peace. She wants peace, and she knows she's not going to get it with her sons.
No, and she wants to run. So she really getting to like, please take over and let me run.
Mm-hmm.
Her little camping trip, which I missed last week with you guys, a little camping trip gave her some clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't. And then now my other son, Aemond, is trying to take Helaena, who is not going to get on the dragon.
Right. And I mean, she said it, then she was like, and when Aemond says to her, he says, so he's basically asking, so we're just supposed to, we're supposed to just let them come in and do this? Like, we're not supposed to defend ourselves? Not like this. Not like this. And I think, again, for her, we got a lot of head clicking moments in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I think for her, it was at that point where she was like, this is not going to stop. If it remains with Aemond and even with Aegon, it's not going to stop. She knows Rhaenyra wants peace. That's why Rhaenyra went to her in the Sept in the first place.
Right.
Because she was trying to avoid all of this. So if there's any chance of that being avoided, she's going to have to go through Rhaenyra. Okay, so look, this is what I'm offering you. Aemond is going to be gone. He's going to Harrenhal. Helaena will be in charge. I will talk to Helaena. Because again, Helaena don't want to be queen. She said as much. I was a lot happier before I was queen. We know she's not getting on her dragon, which Anthony said. Anthony was very adamant in his belief that she was not going to get up on that dragon.
She's not getting on that dragon. She
was like, I don't want to burn anybody.
And then she said, okay, if I'm on the dragon, I'm not burning anybody. So there will be no point for me to be there but to die on my dragon.
She's going to take that dragon and fly away.
Correct.
She's not fire. She's not fighting.
But Alicent is like, basically, Helena's going to be in charge. I can make it so you can come in the doors. You can take over. Nobody has to die. No blood has to be shed. Let this just be over. Because by the time Aemond finds that out, it's going to be too late.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I really felt like she was sincere about it. The fact that Rhaenyra asked you, so she was like, no, you can't have an easy way out of this. I gave you that once and you didn't take it. So you have to make a choice now. You have to pay. She was like, are you willing to do that? A son for a son? Alicent had to sit there and think about that long and hard, but she was like, yes, because if that's the only way, what else are you going to do? She tried to plead for Aegon's life. And Rhaenyra was like, I can't do that. Like, how am I supposed to let this stand? Oh, he usurped the throne for me, but I'm going to show forgiveness? No, I can't do that. I had to put his head on a spike for everyone to see.
I mean, she shouldn't feel bad about it because, Aegon is a little miserable and in pain and, can't do his full play. So, you kind of helping them out.
First word.
But Aegon is not there anymore. So that's going to be a problem because what's going to happen is Rhaenyra is going to get there. She's going to find out Aegon's not there. She's going to think Alicent was lying. And that's going to be a whole different set of problems.
It's Alicent. She's going to say Alicent was in on it because the only reason why she said yes was she knew he wouldn't be there.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, Alicent got a good alibi. She could be like, I was on the island with you. But then again, she could have been like, oh, you were a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think, for all that we say about Alicent and her mothering skills and the way she is with her children, I honestly don't think she would put Helaena in that kind of danger. She probably don't give a fuck about Aemond and Aegon, but I do believe that she cares about Helaena, and I don't think she would put her in that danger.
Yeah.
She started biting her nails again.
I saw that, but also Rhaenyra, she started doing that little nervous tick that she does too, that she did when they were children.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I like that symbolism, because you see, I think it's meant to show that you don't see the two queens, but you see the two women as they used to be, as they were friends, you know. And Alicent even says as much. She was like, I was coming to appeal to the friend who once had, you know, to someone who once had great love for me. Like, the whole thing is just like, we can go back and look at every instance where we could have been like, okay, this could have been the game changer, this could have been the game changer, but really it all, like, although Hightower put all of this in motion when he sent his daughter to go, you know, flirt with the king or be the support for the king or whatever. And the other thing too, I remember from the books, and I think they also mentioned it here in the show, where when Jaehaerys was sick, Alicent was also the person who used to go and sit with him and read books to him and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Don't send the small children to do this shit. Like, really?
You know what, Otto? Come on, that's Otto. It's Otto. His daughter was not really his daughter. She was a tool.
She was a concubine, basically.
She was something to use to get what he wanted.
Yep.
And that's what I feel for her in this conversation, because she is now figuring out who she is and what she wants.
Yeah.
Finally.
Mm-hmm. And I mean,
she wants her family.
No, not really.
She wants her peace of mind.
Thank you. She didn't say that. Don't put words in her mouth.
She was like, look, I didn't want none of this stuff.
No, that is help. Peace of mind is the greatest thing of all.
I'm trying to help her.
Peace of mind is the greatest thing of all. Don't help her out by throwing family in. That don't help her.
She don't give a fuck about
peace of mind helps her.
Right. Because think about it. She talked about passage for her and Helaena and Jaehaerys.
Yeah, she didn't ask for
your son is laid up in the bed, half burnt. You didn't think about him. Like, oh, I need to be here for. No, you like, he a lost cause.
Yeah. And then you got one son who's also going to be involved too, who is, you hadn't even seen him in years. She don't even care about him. I just want passage for 3. Mm-hmm. I'm good.
I told you she should get her. She should take Helaena and Jaehaerys and go back to Old Town and call it a day.
Oh, she can't go to Old Town.
I just meant go away.
Yeah, somewhere. She's trying to. She's trying to get permission to go.
Her ass gonna end up going to Essos too, and then she gonna be like, "Aegon, what are you doing?"
Right. We all hiding, but it's too late. I mean, like you kind of started this. So you have to finish this out, whatever happens to you.
Yeah, I see it.
So your only option really is to get safe passage for Helaena and her child, because you have to deal with the consequences of your actions. Your dad has to do the consequences of his actions. Your 2 sons. So, but it's too late.
Well, to be honest, if none of them should really make it, because if we learn anything, like Robert Baratheon decided to kill all the Targaryens because he didn't want anyone laying claim to the throne. Mm-hmm. So technically, she should do the same thing. Jaehaerys should be killed. Aegon, Aemond, Daemon, all of them should be killed.
Well, she already took care of the bastards. Whether purposefully or not, that's done.
Right. Well, I'm agreeing with you. I think it was purposely.
Yeah.
It was definitely purposely.
Yeah.
So, you know, it honestly, and that's probably what Daemon would counsel her to do. Mm-hmm. That's probably what the small council would tell her she needs to do, because you will still have pockets of people loyal to the Greens. Mm-hmm. And if you leave any of them alive, then that's a way to raise support. You know?
Yeah.
It'd be similar to what Maester Aemond did when he went to the wall, because he didn't want anyone using his name to lay claim to the throne.
Right.
So,
right.
I guess she could make them go to the wall. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
No. Mm-mm. So
no, she, especially for the ones who like openly rebelled, openly usurped. I think she's willing to give Helaena and Jaehaera a pass because one, even she knows that that's not in Helena's nature. Like she knows enough about her siblings to say Helaena is the most gentlest of all. I mean, that is one thing that we've heard both her and Alicent say. So I don't think she would feel like Helaena is a threat, especially after everything that she went through. I mean, Helaena lost a child because of all this foolishness. I don't think she's worried about Helaena. And then Jaehaera,
she lost a child. She had to marry a brother. It's a lot of things that she had to deal with because of the paths they needed to make for these kids to rule the kingdom.
Right. I don't think she would harm those two, but like you said, I feel like everybody else, Aemond, Aegon, even Alicent, at some point, she could probably imprison Alicent for the rest of her life. I mean, I feel like Alicent would probably be no, you're right.
You tried.
I mean, I don't think Alicent would have a problem with that per se because she realizes that she could easily have her head on a pike. But I think at the same time, she's kind of like, if I got to be in this prison for the rest of my life, just kill me. Just kill me. Just be done. I did this. I did it. It's my fault. I mean, first thing she said was, I believe I was mistaken. At least you're saying it now. Like, oh.
Yeah, but you need to also be some apologies and stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot.
But I was like, first of all, you're going to come to Dragonstone to see Rhaenyra. I need you to do it better in the costume department. You having on a green cloak, green dress, that's not doing much to disguise who you are and where you're coming from. Now, I realize Master Orwell apparently has ways to get out of the castle because Aemond ordered everything locked down once he found out about them taking the bastards away. And that was the thing. He was walking around like, lock everything down. You should have did that when the food boat showed up. Now you want to lock everything down? Now you want to inspect all the ships?
I'm going to go back to what I said before about the Maesters. Do not underestimate the reach and power of the Maesters. If Master Orwell wants something out of King's Landing, it's going to get out of King's Landing.
Yeah, and
whether Aemond wants it to.
Right, and he talked to the other Maester at Dragonstone, and that's how she got in.
That's how she got there. He let him know she was coming.
Right.
So, and it probably benefited her to wear green because some happy-go-lucky Kingsguard wouldn't be like, who is this person dressed all in black coming over here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at least they knew who she was. Like, you made her easily recognizable. So it's probably for her benefit to wear. And Master Orwell could have told her, yeah, you need to make sure you wear green so they'll know who you are.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, she took a chance doing that.
She did.
I know when Rhaenyra stopped on the stairs, she was like, what are you doing here? I was like, oh, this just got really interesting. But okay, let's go talk about Corlys and this dressing down that he got. Because when I say I feel like Alan wasn't harsh enough.
What was the meme that you mentioned about the
which one? Oh, the one about
the father showing the father who hadn't been around showing that.
Oh yes. The father who has been absent all your life and then shows up at the graduation to take pictures.
That's exactly What is happening?
Like, I'm trying to help you.
But still pretending to be your uncle.
He was like, I'm trying to help you.
Because he's still not even claiming them.
Alan, stop. I said, oh, he about to lay into that ass.
He told me you're dismissed. That motherfucker took a step forward.
He was like, hold up, you're not about to start this and then dismiss me when I say something you don't like. Oh, no, I'm about to let you have it with both barrels.
Right, you about to hear it.
He don't realize that is him. Like, if he really paid attention, he should realize that he is staring himself at that age. Because he was probably just as defiant, if not more.
Yep. Also pulled himself up from his bootstraps and made something of himself from nothing.
Came from nothing. Yep. And that's exactly what this young man has done.
Right. And he was like, look, I serve you because it's the honorable thing to do. But don't ever talk about giving me some help again. Fuck you. Like, oh my God, he gave it to him. He was like, do you know what it was like for us to not know where bread was coming? He was like, that kind of, oh, and then when he said, do you know what hunger does to a boy? What grief? And I was like, so you mean to tell me their mama died and Corlys still didn't do shit for them? I was like, okay, you know what? I like Corlys, but I didn't like him once it's like, oh, you just, and oh, I can't even get my words out. And you thought that you putting them on your ship was supposed to be just, oh, okay, well, I'm helping y'all. I'm doing something.
The worst thing for them was to know who their father was. That was just that's terrible.
Yeah. What he said, I used to sell fish from dawn to dusk.
Yeah.
And I used to see the man that sired me walking with his son and heir with furs around his shoulders, buying sweetmeats to eat at the fire at night. He was like, now that son is dead, and his sister before him, and the heir that followed him, and now you wanna recognize me? Now you wanna see that I'm alive? I heard that fuck you come out of that conversation.
Yep, I did too.
Like, plain and clear. I was just like, and all Corlys could do was sit there and stare. And I was just like, Corlys, you, between this and the fact that now you want to name a ship after your wife, after she's gone, after she done gave her good years, waiting for you to come back from war, waiting for you to come back from the stepstones. Now all of a sudden she's gone, and now you starting to heed her word. I was like, you know what? Corlys is the epitome of too little, too late. Yeah. Like, if you look up that phrase in the dictionary, his picture would be there.
His picture. Yeah.
Too little, too late. It's too little, too late for you to do what you want to do for your wife. And now you got these two sons who have raised themselves up. Granted, you made Adam first mate, but Adam didn't even want it. He's only doing it because you're making him do it. Because you think you're helping him. You owe him. Yes, you owe him, but you owe him so much more than what you've given him. And he gonna make you work for that. Corlys gonna have to give up a lot to make that right, if he ever makes it right.
Yeah, I don't know if he can.
Can't do it. But he can have a better relationship with the younger brother because he seems to be a little bit more open than his older brother. Probably
because
that's the only one. That's the only one you can get closer to.
Yeah, but he follows Alan's lead though.
Yeah. He does, but since they are apart, he will have a relationship with Corlys, but I don't know what Corlys is doing. I don't get it.
He's trying to find an heir for Driftmark now.
Yeah, but he still gotta claim them. I mean, you still lying to Rhaenyra about who these kids are.
I don't want to go on this. I don't want to go on this mission on bad terms with my first mate. Bruh, that one conversation ain't about to fix that.
No, it's not.
Like, you are very naive and very stupid if you think it is.
He's very arrogant too. Like, he just thinks that he could just say something and everything will be okay.
Right. Oh, I'm giving you this position. A whole bunch of people would love to be in this position.
Don't give it to me.
Like, just give it to them then. I don't care. I've been fine without it. But I was like, this dude. The queen never was.
Since we're on Corlys, let's go to his granddaughter.
That was the equivalent of Harry, Ron, and Hermione running through the woods, walking through the woods.
It was. I mean,
anyone who listens to the show, no, I don't have to say anything because everybody should know how I feel about camping trips. She had no plan.
None.
She had no plan.
None. They could at least gave us the end, her claiming the dragon.
They could have given us that. People would have been excited about it.
Right, but
again,
finally,
opportunity missed. Like, what is the point of dragging hers out? Like, what is the point of dragging her
on a damn dragon?
They had to give her something to do.
Well, yeah, but what you gonna do? You gonna drag it out? What you gonna do? You gonna show? You know what? This reminds me of The Walking Dead. It reminds me of Negan walking around with that bat. And we had to wait.
That was one episode.
We had to wait.
And
we only had to wait 2 months.
We had to wait.
We didn't have to wait 2 years.
We got to wait 2 years.
Yeah, we're going to pump the brakes on that because he did kill someone in that episode. We just didn't know the next person he hit. That's different.
And there was a lot of buildup for that particular scene.
More. Right. Let's interaction more with the dragon.
Proven.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Like, one, she left her responsibility. She's supposed to be watching the younger 2 kids. You just up and left them. Huh?
They're about to get kidnapped. They're not about to get kidnapped because their nurses and their nannies are going to take care of them. They're not paying attention to Rhaenyra because they're like, let's be honest. Oh, she abandoned us. Now. We gotta protect the babies because they're the heirs. Technically speaking, Rhaenyra ain't nothing. So they're not about to waste the resources to go and find her. Oh, you didn't want to go? Okay, you know what? Bet. We got the dragon's eggs and we got the kids. We're gonna make sure they're safe. You out there on your own, you wanna try to run after a wild dragon. Now, the dragon that belonged to your uncle, whose blood you share, tried to eat your ass when you tried to claim him. Because that's what happened. Seasmoke almost ate her when she tried to claim him. You want to go after a wild dragon that nobody has ever? Girl, if you don't sit your butt down somewhere. She had no plan. No food, no water, no clothes, no nothing.
Nothing.
Because she left everything on the cards.
It was a waste.
But they really could have redeemed themselves again
if they had
just had her claim the dragon. If it just happened.
What Vermithor did, just kind of went up to her, sniffed and was like, oh, okay, I kind of like you.
Right.
But him looking at her and hollering at her, she could be dead by the time we come back to the show. He could have been like, oh, you got a lot more meat on you than a sheep. Let me eat you instead. It was just her part of the story. Like, I understand y'all. And I will say this, because they spent so much time on it, when I say she better play a big ass part in season 3, like, y'all made it a point to show us her running after that damn dragon for 2 episodes.
Hello.
Like, at least with Daemon's Harrenhal stuff, they at least gave us the vision so we could see the first 3-eyed raven, or the first 3-eyed raven that's descended from his bloodline. We could see the White Walkers. We could see the future vision of what was supposed to be Daenerys. We could kind of see how that ties into the bigger picture. Okay, we had to do this for a whole 6 episodes, 7 episodes. Oh, okay, I guess. But at least we have that little bit of payoff because we can connect the dots.
Right. Imagine if he had the vision and we didn't get to see the vision. We'll be even more mad.
Girl, let me tell
She's
you.
been looking for this dragon for us feel like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. I'm being
I think,
extra.
maybe.
This one, last week, and the week before.
Or maybe last week, because I think last week was when they set out from the castle at the top of the
Was
episode.
it?
I think.
But I think she got the idea in her head when she learned it, though, that when she was like, "Oh, there's a dragon."
I think it was then. It's been 3 weeks, and all we get at the end was her seeing the dragon. Could we have some interaction or claiming of the dragon would have been nice, but whatever.
They're gonna draw it out another 2 or 3 episodes. The process of her trying to get the dragon's attention.
No. They better not.
Hold on. Okay, because I did miss last week when everyone claimed their dragon. So at that point, she was looking for a dragon last week. So I thought she would claim the dragon last week. No. Then we have this week, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So since you mentioned visions, let's talk about that vision. What was the dragon in the vision?
We don't know.
We don't?
We don't know what dragon that was. Trust me, people have been trying to figure out, but they're like, they can't really tell which dragon it is. Yeah.
I think it was. I don't know if it was supposed to be a specific dragon or if it was just the vision of the dragons to say, hey, so just to let you know, the dragons are going to die if y'all follow this path. Like, I think it was more so for him, like, confirming to him what needs to happen. You know, we saw Rhaenyra on the throne. We saw the dragons dead. We saw all of the soldiers killed. We saw Daemon falling into the water at what appears to be the god's eye. You get to see, like I said, the 3-eyed raven. You see one of the White Walkers, and I know people have been comparing those 2 White Walkers. Like, y'all gave us the Sheen version of the White Walker. This is not the Night King. I don't think that Walker was supposed to be the Night King. That Walker was one of the other Walkers, I think, that Jon Snow killed at Hardhome, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably so. I didn't think it was supposed to be the Night King. Like, why would the Night King be? Like, if I'm the king, why am I out all the time? That doesn't make sense. My soldiers would be. But which 3-eyed raven friend is this?
That's Brendan Rivers.
Brendan Rivers, yeah.
That he was one that showed Bran everything, right? Yeah.
Yes, I think that was him.
That was him.
He was that No, actually, I think he was a different 3-eyed raven. He was the one that came before that. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I read that somewhere. I think he was the 3-eyed raven that was before the one that showed Bran everything. So yeah. But I know there have been some speculation about, there have been people who have been saying that Aemond was one of the Night King, one of the White Walkers, and then somebody was like Daemon was one of the White Walkers. I'm like, no, neither one of them were the White Walkers, but maybe someone in their line became one of them. I don't know if they would have become one of the Night King's lieutenants, but somebody in his line could have. But I think it was that vision was mostly to show Daemon, okay, this is the path you need to be on. This is what is coming. Like you said, is telling him the Song of Ice and Fire without telling him the Song of Ice and Fire, showing him everything that's going to come to pass and say, hey, this is your part to play in it. And I mean, unfortunately, we do see Daemon's death in this vision. So we already know he's going to have to die in order for all of this stuff to happen. And Rhaenyra is going to have to be queen, which is why he ended up bending the knee to her. But I think he was just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna let you sweat for it a little bit, but the fact that she showed up, he was like, so I was not expecting you here. So damn, now I gotta do this in front of everybody. Okay, well, I guess if this what we gotta do, this what we gotta do. He bends the knee, everybody else bends the knee, and Sir Alfred takes the fuck off. I mean, he didn't even hesitate. From the moment Rhaenyra showed up, he was looking like, oh shit. When Daemon bent the knee, he was like,
so I don't know. I was gonna say something about Alice Rivers. I'm still thinking I thought she was kind of neutral. I'm not sure anymore. So I think, but then I was like, well, maybe if she's looking at the big picture, then she has to make Daemon see what is supposed to happen. So back to what Michelle said, he had to be open to what he needed to know in order to do what he's supposed to do. Because I think she knows what he's supposed to do as well. Because I'm convinced she's a green seer. So
yeah,
we'll see.
But
we'll see. That Targaryen blood
because I mean, she seems to have a stake in it. I mean, if you look at even with this episode, when she sat on his bed and told him she was going to the Godwood, she had tears in her eyes. She had tears running down her face. And even when she was talking to him in the Godswood, she was very emotional. So she has some kind of stake in it. I don't know what exactly yet, because I don't remember. I remember a couple of things about her from the book, but like her overall motivations, I don't quite remember that. Also, who did Daemon see run behind the weirwood tree? Because I couldn't tell who it was. I think he was having like a vision, like somebody was walking back behind a tree. Who was that?
There's some possibilities out there, but it wasn't really a particular person. Because at first I thought it might have been the Children of the Forest, but they're all kind of gone. And then there's the I forgot what they call them, the Green Men or something, and it sort of fits the description of one of them.
Okay.
Okay, so we keep mentioning the God's Eye. The God's Eye is a lake, and in the middle of that lake is the Isle of Faces. And the Isle of Faces is the largest, I think it may be the only place, but there's a grove of weirwood trees. And I think they're the only weirwood trees left south of I guess the neck. Because most of them were all cut down during the war with the Children of the Forest. Right. So the green men are they're like the caretakers of the Isle of Faces.
Okay.
So they run around, they ride, elk, and they wear headdresses that have horns, like elk horns or whatever, stag horns. So I think that's what that was supposed to be. He was seeing one of the green men that was taking care of that weirwood tree.
Okay. But yeah, I was wondering, I was like, is he seeing Aemond again? Is he seeing a version of himself? No. Like,
it's sort of another allusion to his destiny with the Isle of Faces and the God's Eye.
Okay. So yeah, I think all that stuff's probably gonna happen in season 3. Like, we talked so much about all the exposition we've gotten in this season, and especially with this last episode, yes, we're teasing it, we're calling it the 70-minute trailer for next season. But again, I feel like this is the calm before the storm. There's probably going to be a lot of death next season. There's going to be a lot of battles, because at this point you've shown us where everybody is. You've shown us what everybody's mindset is, whether they are ready to fight, whether they are ready to lay down their arms, whether they are cowards and retreating, which I won't say that I feel like Aegon is a coward, because it's very obvious his brother plans to kill him and he can't defend himself. So I'm going to be honest. I don't blame him for leaving, because what you going to do?
It's a smart move.
prove that you're brave by sitting there waiting to get killed. What sense does that make? None. So I just feel like everybody is set up. We know kind of where people are, where they stand, except for a few. Like I said, I feel like Ulf is going to
Otto.
And Otto, because we don't. But again, I really think Larys had something to do with Otto, especially if his goal has been to put Aegon back on the throne.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Aemond, for all his wanting to be king, he really knows nothing about diplomacy. He does not know about keeping people around that will help you succeed. Like, he's on this mission, like, oh, he got to do all this by himself. And I mean, what was it that Tywin said when Tommen became king? He was talking about what it takes to become a great king. And he was like, you have to surround yourself with people that have the experience and that you can learn from. He was like, your brother didn't do that. Do you think he was a good king? No, he was a terrible king. It's kind of the same with Aemond. Aemond is not listening to anyone. He's just, okay, I'm Prince Regent. I'm gonna go fuck some shit up. Oh, y'all got more dragons. I'm gonna go kill these people. Like, I don't know what he was trying to do, whether he was trying to draw Rhaenyra out, whether he was trying to draw those dragons out. But boo, this ain't what you want right now. You are one against 6. That's right there. You bring Caraxes back in. Caraxes is itching for a fight right now. She has been on Harrenhal grounds for way too long, not doing a goddamn thing. She is ready for a fight.
And she having visions herself. She ready to go.
She is ready to go. So, yeah, I really think Loras, that's his name, right? Yeah, I really think that Larys. Yeah, I really think that Larys, he's the one that got Otto, and I don't know where Otto is, but I can bet you is nowhere near King's Landing, is nowhere near Old Town. He's probably in Bravos. That's where he's about to take Aegon. He's probably yeah, okay, look, I got your Gramps. You right here. He would have been right there counseling Aemond. But also too, Otto was pissed about the way he left. He wanted to sit there and help, guide, whatever you want to call it, with Aegon, because again, they really didn't think Aegon had the stomach for it. They didn't think he had the brains for it. So I don't know. He's probably in Essos. He's in Bravo somewhere. So,
and if you see him where? Alone?
Right. For all the good that did. But I think the only thing I want to talk about, let's go back to the beginning of the episode with Tyland Lannister and Admiral Lohar, because that is an interesting character. And I know she's supposed to be a blend of 2 characters in the book. I don't think I've gotten that far, but that whole thing with him trying to negotiate with the Triarchy, the whole mud pit fights, the part where she was like, I want to have your children. And he was like, so you want me to? She was like, yes, I want you to fuck my wives. And he was like, how many wives do you have? So like,
it was funny how that was the question. Was
right.
How many wives do you have? All of them? Okay.
Like, you want me to impregnate all of them? Okay. But that whole sequence was just hilarious.
It was very much so.
What was the sellsword's name that was fighting for Daenerys?
Dario Naharis.
What if he's like a descendant? What if he's
I'm here for it.
It wouldn't make sense.
Not the second Dario, the first Dario.
The first one, not the
second one. Right. Ed, what's it? How you pronounce his name?
Scream, yeah.
Him.
Yeah, the first one.
Francis from Deadpool. Yes,
Right.
him.
Wait, wasn't he the Terminator too? No, that was someone else.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I can actually see that because they do have similar features with the hair and just the way that they kind of the facial expressions and then just the general overall personality. I can see that. Okay, that's my headcanon now.
He can now. Yeah.
It is.
Dario
Now watch, we're gonna go look it up and find out they have no relation to each other. That's okay for right now.
I'm not gonna look it up. I'm not gonna look it up. That's my headcanon.
I'm here
But that whole thing was so interesting. It's she's like, yeah, I don't know. She's scary though.
What did she say? I won't sail with a man who can't best me. He was like, what? He was so clueless through this whole thing. He was just like, he's trying to negotiate, and they're like, well, we want this, we want the stepstones, and we want this. He was like, I'll agree to it. He was like, but the Prince Regent is probably going to fucking kill me, but I'll agree to it. And
because
then he gets up.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, one more thing. He was like, man, I just really want to go take a bath. I don't know how long he had been sitting. He was like, I just want to go take a bath and grab a nap. Is that too much to ask for? But no, y'all got to have him wrestling in the mud. And I know that is a hard thing. I don't even know if that was just like mud. It looked like tar.
Well, that was mud.
Ugh. Gross.
Yeah. Because it gets heavy and it makes you heavy and it's hard to move around. Terrible.
And if you're already tired, like you've been on the boat for how long does it take to get from King's Landing to wherever the Triarchy is?
Yeah, they want the stepstones. He's like, well, the stepstones are in dispute. We want the stepstones.
but you're gonna charge taxes. It's better than letting your people starve.
Yeah.
We want the stepstones. And they want to fight Corlys.
Now, on the flip side of this, the last time they tried this, right? Well, they didn't do it. They sent the Crab King or whatever to do it. They weren't really involved. So this time they're going to be involved. Do they know about the dragons? Because
I think, remember, Tyland left King's Landing right after that small council meeting where Aemond basically fired Alicent. Because remember, we noticed the next meeting, we were like, Tyland isn't there. Maester Orwell wasn't there because he was in there with Aegon. Kristen Cole was already gone. He had already left for Harrenhal. So it was just
Aemond, Larys,
and the other guy. I cannot remember the other guy's name. I don't know why.
It was Iron Hand, or his nickname is something. It's crazy. But because 90 ships, that's a lot of ships. It is. It's probably more than what Corlys has got. They're probably gonna they're probably gonna give Corlys run for his money. But at the end of the day, that girl ain't gonna let her grandfather die. So she's gonna come with her dragon. They're gonna get word to them, and the dragons are gonna come there and start burning some ships. And I don't think the Triarchy is loaded up on scorpions. They just be shooting up arrows.
None at all.
And then Jace is like, well, I'm bored. And here he comes with his dragon.
Right.
And then Ulf is like, oh, that looks like fun. And here he comes. Now you're 90 ships. Ain't 90 ships anymore.
And then Adam is going to be like, oh, I know he ain't claiming me, but you ain't finna sit here and try and kill my daddy.
Yeah.
He's going to come with his dragon. And, not just his daddy. No. Look, I was going to say, the brother.
His brother.
He's going to be there for his brother. So,
I even if the Triarchy takes the steps, they're not going to be able to hold them. They're just not.
No.
So, and if they do take it, it'll be temporary.
It's going to be a lot of fighting for all that. I mean,
Like Chris Pico said, we're gonna do all this fighting just to be turned into ash. He do all this work. He's gonna turn to ash.
Yeah. I think the only other thing I was gonna tease and say, so Jace better listen to his black wife. What is it they call it? The black wife effect. He's sitting there pouting, doing all this stuff, and she coming in. She was like, "Excuse me, I'm gonna need you to not pout. You are the one that's diminishing your worth because you can't get out your own head. I'm gonna need you to stop." He was like, "But if they come in, just anybody could come." And she was like, "That shit to do with you. Let them have their thing. We still gonna do our stuff." "Well, you know what I am." She was like, "And I don't care." She said, "You really think you are the first noble heir who was not fired by his noble father?" Like, she was like, "Bam. That's the way of the world." Right. Come on, that's now.
Everybody, honey. Get with it. Get with it.
Like, I'm gonna need you to get your shit together and come on. We got some stuff to do. I was like, "Yeah, go on ahead and get him right, Baylor." I tell you, I will say I was slightly disappointed with this episode. I did want more action. I am glad of the information that we got because I have a feeling that all of the people that were in this particular episode are going to be important moving forward. That's why they introduced us to a new character in the last episode, for the season. But there's some things like y'all could have built on. Y'all could have given us more action. I still don't understand the whole point of the kiss with Mysaria if y'all were just going to ignore it for the last 3 episodes. Like, what was the whole point? It just, like I said, make it make sense. Y'all gave us the kiss, and then after that, just like not even, we've seen them in 2 scenes since then?
2 scenes.
No mention of it. Nothing. Like, oh, y'all just gonna forget that happened. Or y'all want us to forget that happened.
I ain't gonna lie. When I saw Rhaenyra in bed, I thought Mysaria was gonna be in there.
Right.
No.
I'm gonna leave my joke to myself.
Oh Lord, what was your joke?
You waited for Daemon to come back.
No, I said it earlier. That's it.
Oh, you were but no, it wasn't with her. Because I was gonna say in the books, there are suggestions of Daemon and Rhaenyra being a throuple, but it wasn't with Mysaria, it was with Laena. Because in the books, Laena and Rhaenyra were very, very close.
Okay.
So yeah, but they kind of skipped past that whole friendship to give us, I guess, this one. No, not even the Alicent, the Mysaria. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because I think in the books, Mysaria and Daemon were still together. And with Rhaenyra's blessing, Rhaenyra was like, "Oh, you want them? Okay, you can have my own, whatever." So they're doing it a little bit different. Maybe this, maybe that. I don't know. I don't think at this point it really matters. Because now we got 7 dragons. We got an army. Everybody is heading off to their things. We saw the Hightower faction on the march. We saw the Northmen on the march. We saw Jason Lannister and the Lannister army on the march. So everybody is going to where they're supposed to be. And like I said, I have a feeling that season 3 is going to be very bloody. It's probably going to start. That first episode is probably going to be bloody. We're going to have some battles. And I mean, yeah, if they're going to wrap this up in 4 seasons, then they got to get to killing some folks. Because there's a lot of that in the books. A lot of that. And I think we haven't even met half of the people that are going to be big players. So, I don't know. But it wasn't all that bad. It was a decent episode. It was missing a little bit. They could have gave us 2 more episodes for the season. They really could have.
They could have just given us
more.
A little action. I mean, just
right. They didn't need 2 more. They just needed a little bit more.
Something.
Yeah. Again, we were in a waiting room for season 3.
Yeah.
They played their little waiting room music and had the magazines out for us, just for coming back to, they come to that door, think they about to call your name. Season 3, nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
you guys have any other thoughts about the end of season 2 of House of the Dragon?
Rhaenyra could basically end all this right now. I don't know what the holdup is. She really
because
could.
she doesn't want to go kill a whole bunch of people.
She don't really have to kill anybody with one person. Really don't. You gotta go find.
Technically, she need to kill 2. She need to kill Aemond and she needs to kill Aegon.
We worry about Aegon later, but we gotta do with Vhagar.
We do.
Vhagar is not gonna be able to battle more than 3 dragons by herself. She just is not possible.
Yeah.
Aemond cannot protect himself.
Yeah, that is true.
He cannot. Vhagar will be all right, but Aemond cannot protect himself.
No, she won't.
I'm just saying, best case scenario for Vhagar is Aemond can't protect himself and she can get away and go to Valyria or something.
Right.
Or just go back to Dragonstone and sulk.
She ain't going to Dragonstone. You mean King's Landing? Vhagar can't go to Dragonstone.
She looked like she was hot to go last time. She was like, yeah, let's go. He's like, no, flee.
And that was only with 3. Once she sees that there are 7 of them, Vhagar gonna be like, no.
But either way, he can't defend himself against that many dragons. So if she wanted to end this, she could, because once Vhagar is off the table, Tesseron is not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
At all, because
if he's just now flying.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Anthony, I'm looking in the background. I think you were right about that being a green man, because he turned around to look at Daemon and I saw the horns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So okay.
Daemon's like, I've been seeing shit this whole entire time. I don't really.
Right. Because she was like, what did she say? You like something like, you're not making a smart comment. And he was like, I don't feel inclined to. Like, I done seen enough.
Yeah.
I believe in this place. You don't have to try to convince me anymore.
Yeah.
I have seen enough. Like, look, I've seen my brother at his best. I've seen my brother at his worst. I have lopped off my niece's head. I believe in the power of this place.
I went down on my mom. I mean, what else is there left?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the truth.
What else is there?
Nothing else. So we know that there's going to be a 3rd and 4th season. The 4th season, Ryan Condal has confirmed that will be the last. I do know that they are coming out with a few more spinoffs. We got our first look at the what is it? The Hedge Knight.
The Night of the 7 Kingdoms.
Yeah, Night of the 7 Kingdoms. We got a little bit of peek at that. But yeah, House of the Dragon, I think it probably will be 2026 before we get anything.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Oh, so again, this season is really hard to judge this season based on the last episode.
Yeah.
We just may need to talk about this in a couple weeks, because right now I just feel like this wasn't a season. This was just, featurettes. The ties over to 2026.
Okay. Well, I guess on that note, that is it for our show. You can find us online at www.fandomhybrid.com. We are on social media, on all the social media at Fandom Hybrid. You can chat with us on our Discord channel. You can watch our videos on our YouTube channel, and you can listen to us on all major podcast streaming platforms. Thanks for listening. We'll be joining the conversation next time.